talking about how we can invest into the commercial real estate. Last week we did residential real estate. Today, what is commercial real estate? Commercial real estate is simply dedicated for business purposes. You can only do what? Business there. And there are several businesses that can be done. As a place is earmarked or dedicated for commercial purposes, can only be used for what? Business. That's the primary information. Usually, business. Types of commercial property. But for offices, there are places whereby they are strictly for what? Offices. Under offices, you have zone A, class A. They are into three classes. Class A, which is the newly built offices, office space, whereby everything will be, top notch, high class, and you pay premium for it. The class B, you talk about renovated houses, buildings, whereby strictly for commercial purposes, but for an office space. You have the class C as well. Now we talk about retail. Under the retail stores, we have where you have shopping malls, mega malls all over the world. Concept of malls, you have what's called the inline tenant and the anchor tenant. Just like example of ShopRite. ShopRite is the anchor tenant that drives what? The traffic. Without the anchor tenant, the inline tenant will struggle to make sales. The anchor tenant will bring the attention, the traffic. So that under retail stores. You have the industrial, or where you also have under this the warehouse commercial real estate, whereby you can build for large businesses. You can build for industries. Talk about heavy industries, both either light or heavy, strictly for what? Business purposes. You also have the multi-family usage. You can have about 50 floors, and you have several flats in there, and you also have several businesses right in the building, can be in the basement. So we talk about commercial real estate is strictly for business. We also have talked about multi-purpose. When you talk about car wash centers, churches, mosques, talk about recreation centers, amusement park, they are under the special purpose commercial real estate. When you go out on the weekend to enjoy yourself, that area is dedicated for what? For that purpose. But it's slightly different from a residential setting. When you talk about residential, it's strictly for somebody to live in with your family. But when you talk about commercial real estate, you talk about the big and for everybody, and for business purposes. Opportunities abound in commercial real estate. Advantage of commercial real estate is what? For steady cash flow. You can have about 1,000 square feet of space, high income. You doing business, you must know that you have to pay more than somebody in the real estate residential side. Less competition. There is less competition. Very few people are going into that space. Very few are doing the commercial real estate.
Longer leases.
You talk about longer leases. You can lease for 5 years. You can lease for 10 years. You can lease for 20 years. You have that space to get your higher return on that investment. In fact, the minimum you can make yearly is what? Between 8 to 12% of your investment when you are doing commercial real estate. But talking about residential, you can make between 4 to 6%. So, there are several opportunities in the commercial. Talk about professional business partnership. We talk about the environment, how be working hard. So many opportunities. And it's such a very big, one of the biggest, talk about the business of real estate in the world. Commercial real estate is primarily for business-oriented organization. Talk about businesses. If you have a very small business and you switch into that, you move into that area whereby you have large organization, that can rub off on you, and before you know it, you learn 1, 2, 3 diversifications of the investment portfolio. When you make your money, because a company paying you for 20 years, that is liquid for you. You can easily what? Diversify your investment and go into other businesses quickly, and your property is still there. You come back in 20 years for a new rent at higher what? Pay. So you talk about the real estate business is so interesting, and before going into it, a letter of intent must be signed by the two parties. As a tenant, there's what is called right of first refusal. Before any agreement is being entered between you, the tenant, and the landlord, the tenant must be informed. There's also what's called right of first offer. If there's a new space in the environment in the business area, the landlord must inform you, the tenant, first, and you have the right to refuse or to accept before a third party comes in, because to avoid competition. Because as a business owner, you are conscious of competition, and also because business is about growing concern. Your business keep growing every day, right? And as your business is growing, you are expanding, and if there's any new space in place, you must be what? Well informed. You must be informed first before any other person. So investing in commercial real estate is very, very viable, very, very important. In our view, we have spaces in all our estates dedicated for commercial centers as commercial zones. The Treasure Island Estate today, we've been able to, we have shops, we have open spaces available. Clients, residents are renting their, to do their commercial businesses. It's Arcview Investment Limited. We don't only build lives. We don't only build cities.